I've got a little project going on today. I'm going to relocate a camera that we have up here off the fence into the front yard. I've got my pole, which is almost 10 foot. It's 114 inches long. So it is 1 5/8 inches in diameter. So I am going to cut some wooden braces to go around the base, and then I'm going to actually cut some supports up to have for the wood that goes on top. So I'm going to do 1 5/8 plus 3/4. Yep, right on deal. 2 3/8. That's about right. All right, so I'm going to cut 4 of those. Sweet. And that's going to be a solid fit. Okay, I'm going to use my blue Craig screws. I'm going to countersink these in, and we are going to use those since it's going to be an outside application. I'm good with that. Snug is what I want. So, all right. We're going to move through to get the rest of this done. Okay, so in going through and pulling my measurements, measuring the camera out from the post out to be covered completely, no rain getting in it, that's been part of my problem with the thing that I have. I have 2 issues with where it's at right now. That whole shed is not anchored, or that whole awning is just, it's anchored to the house. That's it. Yeah, I know you're going, yeah, but what about the posts? Yeah, no, the posts are not anchored. They are floating on top of the concrete. They are floating on top of the dirt on that end. So the only part of that whole entire porch covering that is anchored is the band that everything nails into, that's bolted against the house. And it only has like 3 bolts over that whole span. There's like 1, 2, 3. They didn't do a very good job. Not gonna get on that right now. So anytime that I close the door, that whole thing shakes. When it shakes that camera, and it sets off the theft alarm. So it's got a theft feature on that camera, so if somebody tries to take it down, alarm goes off, notifies us that it's being tampered with. So anyway, I'm going to move the camera to the pole to get off that covered porch. That way, if a high gust of wind ever comes through here and it takes the porch out, I still have my camera. I may lose the light. It was cheap. I don't care. Here's the other thing. In figuring out what I need to cover the camera, to keep it safe, I'm going to come out 24 inches and cut. I'm going to cut 2 of these 24, and I'm going to put them side by side. Because I have this length, it only makes sense to me to just go ahead and make another bird feeder on top of that pole right above that camera. It's going to be a lot more simple than the one I did in the backyard. Gonna need 5 of these. I'm leaving a little bit hang out the bottom of my moccasin vise. So when I get these lined up and put down on here, I can actually take a couple of clamps and go over my moccasin vise and then grab these and then pull them together. I'll get my little gables inset in here, little ridge, and then we're going to run the roof on here. I'm going to make these 28 inches long. So now I'm going to get my angle. We're going to cut an angle on these. Okay, so we drew our line up. Recapping, we drew our line up. We got our angle here, 73 degrees. 90 minus 73 would be 17. So I'm going to set my table saw for a 17-degree bevel. So what I do is I take my square, get it lined up on my line, just enough to hold it. I'm going to do that on both sides. Still good. Put one there, put one here. Anyway, so we're back on day 2. We're going to actually start painting the rest of this. I'm going to paint all the way around these, down the legs, all of this, probably up under here, I may paint the inside of this just to keep it from having humidity and moisture get into it from this way. All around this, the outer edges, and obviously the top. I don't know what everybody else does, but I like to paint until I can't see the wood grain. That way I know I have a good covering. That's probably just me. Okay, as you can see, I decided to go ahead and stick some dowel pins in here and plug up those holes. So those were my 3/8. I'm actually just going to come through here and flush cut those off real quick. I might touch it up with a little bit of sandpaper, but that'd be it. Okay everybody, this is it. We've got it mounted. I've got it pushed out about 4 inches onto this pole. If I need to, I can always countersink a screw and hold that into the pole. I have a wedge in here to hold it into the fence pole itself. Since this is a smaller diameter pipe, we have that. It is a really super extra large bird feeder. So double duty. I had to have something to cover the camera, as we talked about. Keep it completely out of the weather unless the rain is blowing sideways. That was the whole intent and purpose of starting this whole thing. So anyway, we hope that everybody's enjoyed the video. Have any comments, questions, likes, leave a like, subscribe if you like, share the video with those that you know would like it. Anyway, we hope that everybody's having a great day. Be kind to one another, and thanks for watching Fab Build, where creativity meets reality. See you next time.